What do you think, at this point, we're a year into a pandemic. I gotta be honest with you. I think in another year, we're going to be okay. So what do you think we're going to keep from this pandemic economy, which is what I call it right now? And what do you think we're not going to keep? Like, what do you think has really been helpful in mediation, either from growing your business or even just from doing mediation this way?
Go ahead, Kim.
Well, someone asked me early in the pandemic, what's been the good side of this? And at that point, I didn't recognize. But like you said earlier, we're able to connect with people and places we never have before. Right. And that's mind-boggling. I would have never met Elliot or you or just about anybody. My world was so much smaller. I think we found that there's some benefits. While I miss personal mediation, there are losses, to be had for not mediating one-on-one. There are subtleties, there's connection. There are some things that we're sacrificing. But on the flip side of that, it's made mediation in some ways easier. I think people do tend to feel more empowered in their own homes or wherever they're having their mediation from. Mostly, we've been able to outreach to, more people to just say what we do and be available to more people because of this. I mean, just what we've saved on travel time alone, right? So I have the question that's being pulled, of course, is what will happen when we get everything back? And I think across the board, people think that we're going to be keeping this as a form of mediation. I heard one case of someone who representing a big company that would have flown for mediation say, I'll never have to fly again. I can do this virtually. So it's opened up a lot of potential. I don't think we should sacrifice the times that we can connect for making it all virtual. I think it'll be a hybrid. And I think that's across the board, not just in our profession, but just about in everything. We've found a new way to do things. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think obviously LinkedIn is a good place for professional networking. People are also using Facebook for that. There's some who use TikTok. I don't, but there are some who do. I think websites are very important, and this virtual mediation that we're doing now, I think that's going to be a piece of our business, whether it's all virtual or hybrid, where you're with some people and you're with the other people through the computer. Mm-hmm. And there's some challenges there. And again, Susan Guthrie does a nice job of talking about those challenges.
Yeah. And I think that everybody should go watch her recent video because it actually brought to light some of the issues about the hybrid. But the only analogy that I can use is like my kids have dance class on Saturdays. So it snowed, right? And I was like, oh, we're going to miss dance class. No, we aren't. It's by Zoom, like there's certain things. And it's the same if you have domestic abuse issues in mediation. That was we had protocols of how people would come into the building, how people would leave the building, when, how, everything, right? It doesn't need to be necessary. Like if that person feels such horror being in the space of somebody else, why are we doing it? Why shouldn't, or if you have a mediation, because we're always trying, for collaborative, you're scheduling 6 people or more. And it's very hard to get 6 people consistently to meet together. Well, what if one person gets a sick kid or something happens? It's going to be nice to be able to still keep that meeting, have the one person come in with Zoom or Skype or something. But the logistics of that, like we thought the logistics were interesting doing all online or all in person. now if you have a hybrid, and it's not like it's impossible, but I think you need to be getting prepared for it now. Like, how can you continue to operate? Even when we had a snow day recently, I was like, do we really have snow days anymore? Like, aren't all of us capable of working at any point, at any time now? Those are great things. But then it's, how do you establish the boundaries, and how do you establish, how we work within those, and be prepared? Because, she said in her video, which I thought was true, you need to get prepared for it now. Maybe we're not going to have hybrid for the next year, right? But when it hits, if you already have the technology and you already have the capability, you will win in the eyes of a lot of people, because you facilitated something and solved a problem that nobody else could. So I think it's going to be important.